In the depths of the woods, there stood an ancient mansion. It loomed over the gnarled trees like a specter, its dark windows like vacant eyes staring out into the gloom. The locals avoided it, their whispers carrying tales of strange occurrences and unexplained noises that echoed within its crumbling walls, a place where sanity frayed and shadows clung. But I, drawn by an inexplicable, almost magnetic pull, felt an irresistible urge towards the foreboding structure. As I stepped across the threshold, the massive wooden doors groaned, then creaked shut behind me with a sound like a dying breath, trapping me within its musty, suffocating halls. The air inside was thick with dust, a cloying perfume of decay and forgotten lives. Cobwebs, heavy and clinging, brushed against my face as I made my way deeper into the mansion's oppressive interior. Every step creaked beneath my feet, the sound echoing unnaturally loud in the profound silence, amplifying my isolation. I couldn't shake the chilling feeling that I was being watched, that unseen eyes, ancient and malevolent, were trained on me from the deepest shadows. Suddenly, my flashlight beam caught a glimpse of something. A door, almost entirely hidden behind a tattered, moth-eaten tapestry. My hand, trembling slightly, reached for the doorknob. It turned slowly with a soft metallic groan, revealing a narrow, winding stairway that plunged into absolute inky darkness. The stairs seemed to stretch on forever, twisting and turning through the suffocating black, each step a descent into a deeper, colder unknown. I descended slowly, my heart pounding in my chest, a frantic drumbeat against the silence. At the bottom, I found myself in a damp, dimly lit room, the air heavy with the scent of mildew and forgotten things. It was filled with old, shrouded furniture and dusty trinkets, relics of a lifelong past. But it was the portrait on the far wall that seized my attention. A woman, her features striking, her eyes a piercing, unnatural green, seemed to stare right through me, her smile twisted and sinister, a silent, chilling invitation. Her eyes, those impossibly green eyes, seemed to follow me as I moved around the room, their gaze unwavering, unnerving. I couldn't shake the profound feeling that she was waiting for something, or someone. The air grew heavier, thick with the cloying scent of decay and rot, and I could feel the immense weight of history, of unspoken horrors bearing down upon me. Suddenly, a faint whisper, soft and raspy, brushed against my ear, sending a fresh wave of shivers down my spine. "Welcome home," it breathed, the words a chilling caress. I spun around, my heart hammering, desperate to locate the source of the voice, but there was no one there. The whisper seemed to come from all around me, echoing off the damp stone walls, reverberating in the very air. I tried to shake off the profound sense of unease, to rationalize it as just the old house settling, a trick of my overactive imagination, but deep down, a cold certainty told me it was something more. Something ancient and malevolent. The voice, I realized with a sickening lurch, seemed to be emanating directly from the portrait, and I found myself drawn closer, inexorably, to the woman with the piercing green eyes. As I gazed deeper into her eyes, into those unsettling green depths, I felt a strange, profound sense of recognition, a chilling familiarity, as if I had seen her before, known her, though I knew I hadn't. The voice whispered again, this time more urgently, more insistently, "Come closer." I felt my feet move of their own accord, a will not my own guiding me, drawing me nearer to the portrait, until I could see every minute detail of her face, every brushstroke, every shadow, every nuance of her sinister smile. The woman's eyes seemed to be pulling me in, hypnotizing me with their intense, unblinking gaze. I felt myself becoming lost in their depths, my consciousness fading, the world around me dissolving, blurring into nothingness until all that was left was the portrait, the woman and I suspended in a void. The voice whispered once more, its tone low and husky, a possessive, final declaration, "Mine." As I stood there, utterly entranced by the woman's gaze, I felt a presence closing in around me, a cold, suffocating shroud that wrapped itself around my heart, squeezing tight, stealing my breath. The voice whispered again, its words barely audible, a faint, sibilant breath, but I knew with a terrifying certainty what it was saying, "You'll never leave." The woman's lips, once twisted in a subtle, sinister smile, now curled into a slow, wicked grin, wider, more grotesque, revealing too many teeth. I felt a profound chill run down my spine, colder than any winter night, as she began to whisper secrets directly into my ear, secrets that only I could hear. secrets that promised madness. The secrets she whispered were dark and twisted, ancient and forbidden, filling my mind with visions of unspeakable atrocities, of madness and despair, of a world consumed by shadow. The woman's smile grew wider, her eyes glinting with a malevolent, triumphant light as she reveled in my terror, feeding on my fear, growing stronger with each horrifying revelation. The woman's grip on my mind tightened, an invisible vice squeezing my sanity. Her whispers grew louder, more insistent, a cacophony of ancient voices, pulling me towards her, towards the absolute darkness that lurked within her eyes, a void that promised oblivion. The darkness closed in around me, a suffocating, crushing weight that pressed down, stealing my breath, consuming my vision. I was trapped in a living nightmare, a prisoner in my own mind, with no escape from the woman's sinister, all-encompassing grasp. Her whispers grew louder still, a deafening cacophony of madness that threatened to consume me whole, to shatter my very being. The woman's face blurred and shifted, her features melting away like wax in a furnace, dissolving into a swirling vortex of shadow. Her eyes, though, remained burning bright with an otherworldly, malevolent intensity as she drew me deeper into the abyss, into the heart of her darkness. The woman's eyes were the last thing I saw, two burning emeralds in a sea of black as the darkness closed in around me, absolute and total. Everything went black, and I was consumed by an eternal, profound silence. When I finally opened my eyes again, I was lying on the cold, damp floor of the cellar, the portrait hanging above me, its subject smiling down with an evil, triumphant grin, her eyes still burning. I stumbled out of the mansion, gasping for fresh air, my lungs burning, my body trembling uncontrollably. The experience had shaken me to the core, leaving me with a profound sense of unease that lingered long after I left the eerie place behind, a cold dread that clung to my skin. I never returned to the mansion in Galloway, but the memory of the woman's smile, those piercing green eyes, stayed with me, haunting my dreams, fueling my nightmares, a constant, chilling presence in the periphery of my vision. And then, one night, as I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, I realized the horrifying truth. I was never alone. The woman's presence lingered within me, a cold, insidious tendril wrapped around my very soul, waiting to strike whenever I least expected it, waiting to claim me completely.